Hey, welcome to Idol Stand Nation. This is your host, Ora, and with me today is Nick.
Hello.
And unfortunately, we do not have Bang or Jihoon today, so it is just the two of us, no guests, no nothing, and yeah. So, hopefully Nick and I can, keep you all entertained with some of the things that have been happening this week.
Yes, and we will definitely try our best.
So let's start with what we talked about last episode about Somi and her release, or what was supposed to be released.
Somi's release, yes. So originally we had talked about that it was, ready for the 1st of May. Now, obviously, all of you that follow Somi know that didn't happen. As to the reason originally that was stated was it was being pushed back till the end of May due to company issues. As you know, YG is known for his company issues, and so let's be real, who's surprised? Now, what we are surprised about is it has actually now been pushed back to, and I quote, somewhere in 2019.
And that sounds terrible. Sounds
horrible. And the reason for this one, because this is a separated issue, is they're having troubles getting the MV shot and done, which to a lot of you are going to be like, how's that work? Because it's your artist. But I mean, between everything that Somi does right currently, I mean, she has a lot to do, and so that could be a big issue for scheduling. Now, I'm not saying that this is excused. YG is not ever excused from his issues, as everyone knows.
YG, Black Label, whatever. No,
yeah, Label. Black Label's still under YG, so if I refer to YG, I'm really referring to Black Label, but they're still under YG's. They'll still have the same issues YG does.
Yeah.
And so, going off that, it's expected sometime in 2019. That's all we've been told. That's all we can go off of now, and we just have to hope it's not going to be December of 2019.
Oh, I can see everyone now if it was December of 2019.
Oh, everyone would be mad. I mean, this is just like the stuff that happened with BlackPink, I mean, YG was always like, okay, this month, nope, next month, and next month, and next month, and 2 months from now, and now it's been a year, or but at that point it had been a year and we hadn't had a comeback. And so, I mean, expecting the same YG quality that YG has, I mean, I'm not really that surprised. I'm just kind of shocked because Somi has such a big fan base.
I know, right? I feel... So, she's basically back in the K-pop dungeon. To be honest, she is back in the dungeon, so she debuted... she didn't make it in with Twice from 16. I mean, I get it. She still needed a little bit more refining at the time, but then she got to debut as the center for I.O.I. And then after I.O.I disbanded, she went back to being a trainee, but she did a lot of solo work, like working with Eric Nam and whatnot. Now, after that, she really never debuted with JYP. And eventually she left and went to Black Label. And that's been, what, maybe 8 months, 9 months?
Something like that, yeah.
So, it sucks. She's worked so hard. She's debuted multiple times. Or has been close to actually debuting. Only to be basically denied. And... It sucks for someone who works so hard,
Right. I mean, honestly, at this point, I just don't even know, what she can do, really to actually debut. Because it seems like every time she's about to debut, she has trouble. Or there's an issue. Or she can't for whatever reason. And, honestly, I would be getting tired of it if it was me.
Yeah.
There are people debuting that are much younger than her. I shouldn't say much, but younger than her, and she will have to call them, a senior group because at that point, I mean, Like, she should have debuted like at least like 2 years ago, you know?
Right. She's been ready. She's shown her vocal talents. She's shown how well she can do in a music video. And to be honest, we were really looking forward and actually making fun of ourselves by like making possible incorrect predictions or possible correct predictions. But we did do predictions, and now we have to wait some time. There are air quotes, by the way, of in 2019.
Yeah, it's definitely something that like should not be happening, right? YG should know how to manage a group at this point, and Black Label too, because you know Somi's not the only person under Black Label, and so they should both know how to manage, especially a soloist. It's not even like it's a 10 or 9 or 10 member group. They should know how to manage this one soloist, and they can't do it, and that scares me.
And Teddy's been in the industry for I don't know how long now, and he's done really well for a lot of people he's worked with. So my question is, like, why can't he apply the same quality of work with Somi, you know?
Right. I definitely agree on that. I mean, there should be no reason for all this, but right now, fans just have to wait until sometime in 2019.
Which is just YG. Too long. Just way too long.
Alright, so with that, let's go ahead and move on to our next topic, which is Park Bom's 444.
Yeah, I mean, not exactly related to YG anymore, but still in the same realm.
Sorta, yeah. So, Park Bom's 444.
How'd you feel about it?
I liked it. I really did. As you know, but the viewers might not, or they might not remember. I got into K-pop in 2012 with 21, and so they were kind of like my gateway group into like this whole world, because it's not just like enjoying the music for like us anymore. It's like a whole world of like groups, and so they were kind of like my gateway into like this community. And hearing 444, I'm not gonna lie, it brought back like memories of waiting for 21's next comeback, and like watching that at like 5 in the morning, because I really wanted to see their next comeback. And honestly, it gave me memories of that, because it had such that 21, like it had a 21 ballad vibe. You know, if you think about this song and you think about Anyoung, which is obviously their last track, it's the same sort of sultry feel, but also, you know, having Park Bom's voice on top of that. And obviously, don't get me wrong, guys, Wheein was great. I'm more focused on the main artist here. You know, it gave me like that vibe that I didn't know that I was looking for, and it made me like extremely happy that it's back.
So, I'm going to say I don't have the same nostalgia factor as you do.
Right.
So I had to watch this maybe 3 times before it actually stuck in my head. It's not exactly my favorite song that's been released by her. I prefer Spring. So I kind of have the opposite reaction as you. This wasn't my favorite ballad, I'd say, that I've heard. It's good, but I wouldn't say it's my favorite. Especially from the video production side. The music video had so compared to her Spring music video release that was released, I think, a couple of months ago. Wow, it's been a couple of months since Spring's been released. Wow. But no, it gave a... Because if you remember watching Spring from Park Bom, it had a lighter, more brighter color scheme.
Right.
But this one has a darker, more dulled color scheme. And when it comes to like 2NE1 or something like that, I usually feel like when it comes to the darker color schemes, they would kind of pull some kind of more energetic song just to contrast that dark, and vice versa. When it's lighter, they kind of do the opposite of doing that contrast, where if it's lighter and brighter, they go with a more calm kind of feel, and when it's darker, they go with a more powerful feel. At least from my experience with 2NE1. But this time it stayed pretty consistent with the feel of the song wise of Spring and 444. And the song was very ballady. That's not even a word, but as of
it's
right now,
a word
it is
now.
Ballady. Right. But like there wasn't anything that stood out in the music video to me, so I didn't think it was really memorable in my eyes.
Mm-hmm. Well, to segue off that, there was something. It did stand out to someone, right?
Yeah.
So it stood out. Hopefully everyone should know now. It stood out to KBS. And KBS had promptly banned the music video. Yeah.
And it's only been less than a week now.
Oh no, I was looking up articles. It got pre-banned before the actual MV released.
Are you serious? They got pre-banned?
Yeah, it got pre-banned because the teaser had. So to give you guys some context, Park Bom's MV 444 got banned by KBS because she walked down the street in a tunnel, and you might be like, okay, what's so bad about that? But that's breaking traffic safety laws in Korea, which is illegal.
Right.
And
exactly,
they can't show that on KBS, and so henceforth they've banned the MV from being shown. And it's a laughable reason.
Right. I mean, it's the similar reason to how Kill This Love was banned.
Correct,
because Rose wasn't wearing a seatbelt.
Correct, because Rose was not
violating.
wearing a seatbelt, yeah.
You're not a. It's hilariously ridiculous.
Oh yeah, it's funny. It's really funny, but at the same time, I mean, I understand where KBS is coming from, because they're like, I mean, we've banned other MVs for this basically the exact purpose or this exact reason, so we gotta ban everyone else. But like, I mean, it's a bit much at this point.
Well, like, I mean, yeah, she was standing in the middle of a dark tunnel, and it's not always. If they want to protect safety laws, I get it. Make sure that no one else stands in the middle of the road singing, and just for the sake of singing. Obviously, that's not safe, but
right, yeah, of course.
In terms of art, it's definitely going too far. It's going way too far. Because a seatbelt is going to definitely ruin a shot. Standing in the middle of a tunnel definitely symbolizes something for depending on what the song is or what is being shot. And to try to obey traffic laws, it can definitely ruin the symbolism that was meant there.
Right.
And also having a band does definitely hurt its reach, because Park Bom hasn't been super active until like recently, so she needs all the exposure she can get, and having it banned by KBS is not helping that.
Right, yeah. I mean, as far as like that goes, it's definitely not going to help, but I don't think it's going to do as much damage as you're thinking.
Well, it's not damage, it's more like a loss of viewership.
Right.
Because, what was it? I didn't even find out till maybe, I want to say 2-3 days ago that she actually released the MV already.
Oh, yeah.
I knew she was releasing in May, but I didn't find out till maybe 2 or 3 days ago, and I was like, wait, it's been released? When did this happen?
Right, yeah. So, I mean, as far as that goes, but as far as the MV, I liked it. It seems like you were pretty okay with it.
Yeah, I was okay.
KBS hated it.
Not exactly my favorite. Yeah, KBS pretty much just hates everything.
Okay.
But yeah, I was just eh.
All right, on to more news.
So this isn't more, I guess, bad news or whatever. So EXID is now in the news with 2 of the members no longer re-signing to Banana Culture.
Correct, yeah.
I know one of the members was Honey and
Jungwon.
I want to say Jungwon. Yeah.
Honey and Jungwon.
So
they are both.
Those two are. Yeah, those 2 are both leaving. Don't get us wrong. The other 3 members are still staying with Banana Culture. They are saying, I don't care what Nick says, they are saying that they are not disbanding.
Alright.
Okay?
Alright. So, currently, so the only reason I say that this is the new form of disbanding, which I do say it is because, first off, let's have a look at groups that did this previously. SNSD, for example.
Not disbanded.
They're not disbanded. You're correct. They're not disbanded. They're technically on a hiatus. They're basically done though. They're using the members currently are using the name for promotional purposes, and that's exactly what EXID is going to do. Like, for example, Honey and Jungwon, right? They left the company, and then the company also said, Banana Culture also said that they're going to work on the individual members' solo careers. If you have 3 members working on their solo careers, 2 members have left the company, what does that mean? Means you're basically done.
It's a temporary hiatus until maybe in the future when the members feel like, getting together and make a song. Just saying.
The problem is like, okay, let's say, because we already know what Honey's gonna do, right? She's a variety goddess.
Yeah. Isn't she already?
She's hosting.
Slated to.
Yeah, she's already hosting shows at the moment.
Yeah, and I thought she was slated to be in a drama soon.
I didn't hear that.
Junhwa?
Possibly, I don't know. I didn't hear much about that.
Okay.
But, and at this point, I mean, people knew from the time that Seulgi entered the group that Seulgi would be a solo artist once the group ended, because like every group, all groups end. Seulgi is an amazing artist, and honestly, she could be a solo artist and be perfectly fine. As for the rest of them, we don't know what they're going to do yet. I mean, they might go solo, or they might, decide that, hey, maybe I kind of want to take a break. We don't know what they'll decide yet. But what we do know is that currently, they are, I can't say broken up because they're not broken up, but they are on hiatus until further notice.
Well,
which is essentially just, like I said, the new age of disbanding. You're not going to officially disband, you're just going to go on hiatus indefinitely and be FX. Oh, sorry, that might have.
You have to be you had to bring FX into this, huh?
Yeah, that might have struck a chord with a few people. All right, hang on. Hang on. All right. Well, I mean, FX. The difference between FX and EXID is that EXID is going on hiatus mutually. FX didn't.
Yeah.
Bring back FX, honestly. All right.
Right. I mean, they aren't going on hiatus immediately, because they do have a comeback on the 15th.
Correct. Yes,
hopefully.
They have a comeback on the 15th, so they will be, they will actually be, having a comeback, and then that is however, that is their official last comeback until they're on hiatus. What's been said is from the actual official company is that this will be their last comeback for some time. That is the actual words that have been said, and that doesn't mean that we'll have a next comeback. It just kind of hints towards a next comeback, which, as we all know from K-pop companies, just because they hint towards something does not mean it'll happen. Somi's comeback, for example, or Somi's debut, for example.
So I'm hoping that all these image teasers, all this track lists that have been released do not just end up as, we're just gonna cancel it now. That would be terrible.
That would be horrible.
That would be absolutely terrible.
So Yep, that's kind of what EXID is doing right now, and we'll have to see what their next comeback is like. You best believe that at minimum I'll be here to, tell you guys about it, because I am a really big EXID fan. I basically followed them for a long time, so
I am a 50% chance we'll be on the episode with the EXID's comeback. 50-50. Who knows? It might just be Nick and Bang, or Nick and Jihoon, or all three of those guys. Who knows?
But either way, we're definitely gonna have a video about it. Even if it has to be just me, I'll have a video about it. So
he's going to review every music video by himself during that week.
Yeah, all in heavy music theory context. Perfect. Let's lose all of our subscribers.
Just have you talk nonstop.
Reset the subscriber count. Perfect.
Back to 0.
All right, so let's move on from that.
Okay. I see how it is.
All right, big hit TXT fandom naming issue. So as you guys might have remembered, we talked about this last week.
Was it? No, I thought it was 2 weeks ago.
It might have been 2 weeks ago. You guys will remember. We won't. That's how it usually works.
Yeah,
anyway,
exactly.
We've talked about this in the past. The TXT fandom naming issue with Youngwon's, but the plot thickens a little bit. So obviously, Tiffany and her company have reached out to Big Hit and be like, "Hey, what's going on here?" And Big Hit so far has not responded. But what's more important is that they actually just released an MV for TXT, and they still have not responded to the allegations and issues with their fandom name, which is interesting, because as a company, Big Hit should realize that this is detrimental to TXT's fandom base.
Right. If I haven't seen the video. I haven't seen any of the comment section yet. I'm actually kind of curious what the comment section is like right now.
I'm sure the comment section is still mostly positive. You got to realize it's still Big Hit, which means they're still backed by BTS.
Yeah, but then again, it's also against it. People who want them to change their name, they're going to pop up. Some people just don't care. Some people just don't care.
So they released Cat and Dog English version 2 days ago, and still have not responded to the allegations. I'm looking at the comment section currently, and just as I suspected, there's nobody complaining about the fandom name.
All right, that's good then.
Most people are just talking
about that. Just shows how pessimistic I am about some stuff. I'm a terrible person. But yeah, no, they should. To be honest, they should have actually said something by now. It's been a week or two.
Yeah, honestly, there was some issue apparently with because obviously they're singing and rapping in English. And apparently a lot of Americans and native English speakers could not understand their English.
Really?
Apparently it was really bad. They had to put on subtitles, which is interesting.
Okay, now I actually have to watch this. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure TXT are really great Korean singers. But I'm not a big TXT fan. There's so much K-pop out there has been released, and I am sorry if you guys can hear anything in the background right now. I think there's construction being done right outside my house. So if you hear any douche or kush or whatever, it's construction. I can't do anything about construction. Hopefully they'll be done soon.
Hopefully. All right. So, as far as that goes, yeah, it doesn't seem like they're actually having very many issues with the fandom name. which is good and bad. It's definitely bad because when you refer to like, oh, what fandoms are you part of? Oh, I'm a young one. Okay, which one? You know. But also at the same time, you know, it's good that the group is not getting a bad rep from it because I mean, honestly, the group doesn't deserve that because the group didn't have a say. It's all Big Hit.
Yeah. Just blame Big Hit. Don't blame TXT. I'm sure the guys are nice guys.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Recently, though, they've also gotten. I mean, I feel like Big Hit recently has gotten, since the growth of BTS, they've gotten very cocky.
Yeah.
I mean, this Big Hit that does all this stuff is not the same Big Hit that when BTS first debuted.
No.
I don't know how much you remember about their original debut, but anytime BTS went under the microscope for controversy, Big Hit was like super like no, because they were a small company. Yeah, they were a small company at that time. They couldn't afford that. But now because BTS has garnered so much attention and like promoted Big Hit to actually a Big Four company. For those that don't know, that still use the Big Three term. Big Three doesn't exist anymore. Big Four. Just add Big Hit into that, and you have now your major four companies.
Why? What? When you say Big Four, now I'm thinking like big boss villains in my head for some reason.
Yeah, I know.
With a Big Four.
Yeah, I know, but that's just the new term for it all. Because Big Hit officially has a big enough group, or a big enough group and a big enough gross income, that they can actually be qualified as a Big Four company, and even sometimes passing YG, which is scary. So yeah, as far as that goes, you know, they're now a Big Four company, but I feel like they've gotten way too cocky. Like, oh yeah, you know, our TXT might be having fandom name issues, but we have BTS. It's like, okay, everything doesn't need to relate back to BTS, you know?
Right.
But I mean, I get it. Like Big Hit, obviously, their biggest group is BTS, and they're putting a lot of resources into BTS. But they can't neglect TXT's issues like this.
They can't neglect any of they can't rely on just on one group.
Correct.
Or else they'll be in big trouble in the future.
Right.
I can guarantee that.
Because here we go with this, but like every group, BTS will eventually disband, or go on indefinite hiatus, like the parent trend is now.
Well,
but
I was gonna say military enlistment.
Military enlistment too.
So for those who don't know, in Korea, males have to go through military enlistment before, I believe, they are 36 or maybe 35. It's one of those. I don't have a huge research knowledge base on this, but just from my experience in the K-pop industry, it's all males that are currently in Korea and are legal Korean citizens. They have to go through military enlistment.
Correct. So, for a little bit more background information on that, it's called conscription, and basically it's compulsory military service. It's definitely required for males. Women are not required, but they may voluntarily enlist. But for males, it's anywhere between the age of 18 and 28 where you have to enlist.
Was it 28?
18 and 28, yeah.
Wow.
That can, however, be changed if you have, by the time you're 28, if you have an issue where it sets you back a couple years, it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But that is for the time of conscription. That is not at the time for voluntarily enlistment, which you can, after the time you're 28, you could still voluntarily enlist.
Mm-hmm.
The voluntary enlistment goes for quite some time after conscription, but conscription, yes, is between the ages of 18 and 28. So,
okay.
You know, obviously BTS is all gonna have to go through that, and the oldest one in BTS, which I believe is Jin. Someone's going to attack me for not knowing who the oldest in BTS is. I believe it is Jin though. Jin was born in 1992, so he's already 26.
He's got a couple of years.
Well, he's 26 in international age. He is December 4th, so he's 28.
That would make him. So he probably already did did all the things for it. He just he might kind of holding back.
He might have already enlisted,
Right.
but he also might not have. Because I mean, BTS debuted in 2013, and so by that point, you know, he wasn't like he was 21, so 23 in Korean age, and so it could have.
You only add a year, dude. You're adding 2 years.
No, you add. He's born December 4th, so you add 2. Because when you're born, you are
Really?
When you're born, you are 1 year old, and then by the time the turn of the year happens, you turn another year old.
Yeah.
If you're born right next to the date like that, usually you end up adding 2.
Okay. By the way, if anyone else is confused, don't worry, I am too. Okay, just saying.
Anyway, so for those that are confused right now, basically what I'm saying is if he hasn't enlisted now, he has to enlist basically either this year or next year.
Mm-hmm.
So Korean age is dumb. We all understand that. But yes, if he has not enlisted, he has to enlist either this year or next year, and that is I assume he has enlisted already, since when they debuted he was already in his 20s, which means he could have very well enlisted.
Yeah. And so not only that, so to bring it back, yeah, so with the possible soon to be enlistment of the BTS members, either, you know, they're going to go on hiatus until all the members have finished their mandatory service. Who
Correct.
is Big Hit going to rely on during that time?
Yep, it's Big Hit has already confirmed that his departure for the military will be moved to 2019, so it'll be this year. We're going to enlist. So yeah, I mean, the oldest is now going to enlist. I think everyone in BTS currently, because I'm pretty sure Jungkook is also already 18, meaning that everyone can enlist in the military.
Yeah. I mean, they can all go at the same time and just come back in 2 years. 2 or 3 years, I think.
Yeah, every single one of them can enlist. Actually, most of them should enlist like this year, because you have 2 of them that are currently 26. You have this is all international age, by the way, for everyone. You have currently 2 of them that are 26, one that's 25, one that's 24, and 2 that are 23, and then one that's 21. So at minimum 3 of them need to enlist soon. Yeah. And then 2 of them should end up needing to enlist either this year or next year. Well, Jin will enlist this year, and then Suga will have to enlist next year. That's the required time.
Yeah. That's why Big Hit cannot ignore TXT. It's because of these enlistments of their biggest money makers. It's like if they solely rely on BTS, it's just going to be a big fire when they're gone.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
A company cannot survive not releasing music or handling a fire that's been existing for such a long time, for 2 years.
Right. So I mean, and especially with the fact that BTS right now is a very hot issue, you know? Like for America, they're taking America by storm. They're getting worldwide success. And so Big Hit's been funneling all their resources into it. And I think that's kind of the reason they started TXT, honestly, is because they know that the enlistment of BTS is coming. And I think that's right. I think otherwise they wouldn't have started TXT at all.
No.
But yeah, as you guys know, BTS is was Big Hit's only group, and now TXT has joined them. But I honestly think it's for that sole reason of having, you know, a group to fall back on while BTS is enlisted. The thing that worries me a little bit is, so BTS is doing all this worldwide stuff, right? But it's been long known in K-pop that when new groups start, if they have help from a senior group, they're going to be much more successful.
Yeah.
You know, like, just having that extra like help will be so nice. If you look at all the groups that are popular today, they've been helped by more senior groups.
Mm-hmm.
And that is so that's always been a big thing that's been very prevalent in K-pop, but TXT doesn't have that. And I'm not saying that Big Hit isn't trying their best to help TXT, because I don't know, right? I'm not in Big Hit.
Yeah.
But
none of us know.
But let's be real here. With them being in America all the time, they just won the BBMAs for Top Social Artist for the third year in a row. With them getting like worldwide success, BTS being so popular, like, let's be real here. What time is Big Hit seriously dedicating towards TXT? Like a TXT BTS interaction.
Right.
They could have had a bit when they were trainees, but I guarantee you there's not a lot currently.
Yeah, I mean, don't get us wrong. BTS could very well be willing to help, but they just don't have the time. They're not always going to be in the same country. They aren't always going to be ready to provide the assistance or provide the advice when they're literally across the world.
Right. When you're a 12-hour difference, it's almost nearly impossible to talk to someone.
Yeah.
And that's why it's hard.
Yeah. I mean, my niece and I, we have a 12-hour difference, and as much as I would love to talk to my niece, I can't. The time difference is so huge. And that is just... Sorry if I'm yelling. It's construction. I'm trying to yell over the construction.
I'm sorry.
It is kind of ridiculous.
So, but yeah, I mean, like, honestly, like, I don't know how much help BTS is actually being to TXT, and that also worries me. Like, I'm not a TXT fan. I'll never call myself a TXT young one. Just not gonna happen. Sorry, bad fandom name. Anyway,
Tiffany Young One all the way.
So, I'm not like a TXT fan. I don't watch their MVs. I don't know the group members or anything like that. But I do love K-pop, and I love, to some degree, I love pretty much every group in K-pop, regardless if they're boy groups, girl groups, regardless if I stand them, if I don't. They're all there, and they're all good.
They've all worked hard, and they've trained for years.
But so I don't want to see a group like TXT just go down the drain because they don't have support or their company's kind of horrible. I'm seeing that with a lot of groups that I personally stand now, and it hurts a little bit actually, because like you love a group so much, but that like they're not popular and like not enough people know about them, and so at that point it just becomes like, like it's almost like a sad story.
It's give them some love. They need some love.
Yeah, you know what? Everybody stand TXT because TXT needs love. All right, stand TXT, stand talent. But
what? So not you changed it? You changed it from SIS?
Oh no! Don't get me wrong. Stand SIS, stand talent. They need a lot more love than TXT currently does. But Double X's most popular group, by the way. So. But yes, as far as that goes, I don't want to see people's hard work going down the drain. Now, I'm going to segue that into someone that has worked very hard in her career. Take it away, Aura.
Terrible segue.
Alright, I tried my best.
Okay, whatever. So, in bittersweet news, wow, this is a very sad episode, okay?
Yeah, it is.
Takahashi Juri from AKB48, captain of Team B, trainee / contestant on PD48 with the I.O.I members, has now, as of this recording, May 6th, she has graduated, and she is joining Woollim Entertainment. And for those who don't know, Woollim Entertainment is the company of Eunbi and Chaewon of I.O.I.
Correct, yeah.
So, she's worked hard. She has been in the idol industry itself for, I want to say, almost a decade now. Yeah. Because I remember seeing her debut a long time ago. So in Team 4, I believe it was. So I mean, I'm happy for her. I'm absolutely happy for her. It's just a little bit bittersweet that, you know, seeing her having to basically restart her career as a new idol again. So, I mean, I know Jihoon's been super excited and been wanting to see Takahashi Juri as a K-pop idol, very similar to Takeuchi Miyu, who is part of Mystic right now.
Right.
And then Nick just is like, what's going on, huh?
Right. Yeah, definitely. I don't have like much knowledge on her because I mean I haven't like she's not really someone that like caught my attention, and you know through my rewatching of PD48, obviously by that point I already knew who she was via you, but
Yeah.
she's not really just like someone that I paid attention to, so I'm not as caught up about it. You know, it's just like that's kind of sad, but also kind of cool because she's going to Willem.
Yeah.
So it'll be exciting to see if she, you know, debuts into a group or if she goes solo or whatever happens.
So it's already been announced that she's gonna debut in a group.
In an actual group? Okay.
Yeah. So she's already going to debut in an actual group. There's no official date yet. I don't know if she has to like basically brush up on her Korean or whatnot.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Cause like she if you remember, she didn't have the most perfect Korean
Right.
pronunciation when. So I'm sure she has some room for language growth. So, but she is set to, from what Willem has said, she is set to debut within this next year or so.
Well, we'll definitely be looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah. So I guess that's about it for the news. You know, within 2019, we will be looking forward to a Willem group and Somi debut eventually. In about a week and a half, we will have EXID's. A little bit of my heart just broke when I was about to say this.
Their final comeback for some time.
Right? Oh man. And yeah, you know, just.
All right.
This is a sad episode.
Well, I'll go ahead and do the outro.
Alright.
Oh, feels bad. Alright. So, thank you for watching. This has been Idol Stand Nation. If you want to interact with us, go ahead and leave a comment, like, subscribe, so we can interact with you guys better. If you want, our Discord is open. The link is down in the description below. And feel free to join that and start chatting with us. Because we're always here, we're always available, and because we know life K-pop. So, yep. Thank you for everyone for watching. This has been Nick and Aura, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Adios.
See ya.